an issue that has since then been reconciled. Please confirm with me if your stream has clear audio and video. I just want to now, depending on your time zone, some of you are already entering the Sunday, the 21st of January, from where we are, which is the city of Lagos in Nigeria, the biggest state in one of the biggest West African countries, also one of the most renowned countries on the African continent for lots of reasons, most especially talent in sports and drama and music and many more. We are at the gymnasium of the Institute of Sports at the National Stadium in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are having the most anticipated match of them all, over 70, that should be happening at this venue for the space of 4 days, including the last two, and then today, and then tomorrow. Two of the most renowned players on the entire African continent, also arguably two of the best players in their respective countries, Ceasar joining the black and blue of his management team that is called the Advanced Talent Agency, and Jeremiah Naido joining the black and yellow of the management team of his of Big Hills Pool. And the two players were agreeing to raise to 21 for yes, $5,000. Now that is the consequence of being the first player to 21 or not being presenting to you this action in audio and video. My name is Simon Peter Chobe, live in Lagos in Nigeria. This live stream is at Break and Finish Live Facebook as well as Peter Chobe Live YouTube. But audio also being shared for Q Pixels Photography Facebook as well as Q Pixels Photography YouTube as well as Q Sports Ghana. One frame played, one by Ceasar. He leads by 1-0, racing to 21, and previous action between two players in terms of results coming shortly next. Now already streaming to close to 3,000 people, and yes, the match is only one frame old. Thank you, Africa. Now, if I am not mistaken, the very first time that Ceasar and Jerry took each other on was when Ceasar was resident in Lusaka in Zambia in the year 2022, when Jerry made a tour of that country. The two players had a money match that was won by Ceasar, live on the William Soko Facebook page, but there are also other money matches which I got to know of, two of them won by Jerry behind the camera. The very next time that the two players faced off against each other was the following year. Ceasar, then resident in his country, Uganda, but he decided to make a tour of Tanzania, playing money matches against the best of Tanzanian players like Amadeus, like Saif, like Abdallah Hussein, like Innocent Sami, beating them all. And then somehow Jerry became stubborn enough, wanting to follow up the Ugandan who was dominating Tanzania. Jerry following him all the way. They played a race to 21 for $1,000 on one day. The match was won by 21 frames to 20 by Jerry. Then the following day, Ceasar decided to up the stake to 2,000 US dollars, racing to 25. Then Caesar won the rematch of action by 25 frames to 17. Later in the year, Jerry decided to follow the footsteps of his international comrade Eddie Joseph, deciding to make a tour of Uganda, playing money matches against the best Ugandan players. Then Jerry was managed by the Advanced Talent Agency. He was able to come to Kampala, playing money matches against Ibrahim Sejema, Joseph Asozi, Simon Noboro, and then lastly Ceasar Chandiga. The match that was organized in Kampala at Climax Bar Racing to 21 for 2,000 US dollars was 2020. Then it made the record for the most watched match ever in the history of African pool. It was live on this very platform where you're watching this at 2020. The first time I saw Jerry making 4 consecutive snookers without intending to put, he won the decider and won the match by 21 frames to 20. Then 3 days later, Caesar decided to up things a little bit, raising the stake and the pot and the race to 25. Then for 4,000 US dollars, that was organized at the venue in Kampala that is called Stickles and Giggles. I as well streamed that match on this very platform. It ended 25 frames to 10. It was won by Caesar. Late in there, Caesar did make a tour of South Africa, playing money matches against the best of South African players in that country. They faced Jerry in a 4-man comp that was organized between Caesar and Jerry and Aiden and Senzo, who is now retired from playing black ball. The comp was won by Caesar after beating Jerry. Thereafter, there was a race between the two in Durban. The race was won by Jerry. Late in the year 2023, Caesar did travel to Bulawayo in Zimbabwe to participate in the Queen's International Double Elimination Competition. But before the tournament was played, a prior money match was organized between Caesar and Jerry, racing to 15 for 2,000 US dollars. The match was won by Jerry by 15 frames to 12. In the competition itself, the two players faced off, with Caesar having double life. He reached the final, with Jerry having one life. The two faced off yet again. Jerry had the work of wanting to beat Caesar twice to win the competition that was being played on double elimination basis. The final was won by Caesar. That one became the first time ever that Caesar won an international competition. The year was 2024. Caesar again made a tour of South Africa, taking on the best players in the country. He faced Jerry in a race to 25. That was when Jerry beat Caesar relatively bigly in one of the best played matches in the history of African pool. That race to 25 was won by 25 frames to 10 by Jerry. And of the 25 frames he played, 15 were apples, red and green, respectively. And of course, so many other times that they've been facing off in competitions at Club Timbuktu in Eldoret in Kenya, a post-tournament 16-man competition that was won by Caesar. He beat Jerry in the semi-finals, Jerry taking third place match. The Billiards Cafe Classic competition that was organized in the city of Lusaka in Zambia in the year that was 2025, only last year. The two faced off in the final that was won by Caesar by 9 frames to 4, relatively one-sided, when he won 10,000 US dollars in its equivalent in Zambian kwacha. And in the year 2026, who doesn't remember when they faced off in a 4-man comp that was organized at the venue that was called Hot Shots in the town of Tongat. The comp was won by Jerry. He beat Caesar in the semi-final by 21 frames to 20. With Caesar having to make way back to Uganda after participating in the All Africa Pool Championships, where Jerry was not a participant. The two now organize a money match, racing to 21 for 80,000 South African rands. The match was won by Jerry by 21 frames to 20. Now, who doesn't remember the tour of Kenya when the best of Africa's players descended into the city of Nairobi, playing tournaments and money matches that were organized at the venue? with Jerry following them all, playing a money match against Eshka Chimwanda, which was supposed to be a repeat of action thereafter beating Eshka. There was now going to be the end of the tour before Jerry could take on Ceasar. The two players raced to 21 for 3,000 US dollars, a match that I as well streamed on this very platform. A match that saw Ceasar lead by 20 frames to 18. That is when Jerry won 3 frames straight without dropping a single shot, 3 straight upwards red and win respectively. It's the last time they faced up to present date. The match was won by Jerry by 21 frames to 20. You can do your math. Ceasar leads in terms of head-to-head statistics in competitions that are many cups or tournaments. Then Jerry quickly leads against Ceasar in terms of money matches like this one. In fact, Jerry is the only player on the entire African continent who does have a better head-to-head performance record against Ceasar. In fact, there is some other action that I will not report to you when they played 2 money matches in Tanzania after the Q Masters International Carnival last year that was run by Zambia's Roy Kabwe. Both were won by Jerry. But now, for the course of this match, it is Ceasar that leads by 2 frames to 0. It is Ceasar that is winning the third. Ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of scoreline, Ceasar Chandiga 3, Jeremiah 9 0. Race to 21 for 5,000 US dollars. These guys are listening when I'm talking. I'm confusing them. Okay, you want to come here. This way I can't reach there. Here, yes. No, I will be fine. Don't worry. So guys, these two players, I don't remember them ever having played a money match that has lasted 3 hours plus. It has either been 3 hours or less. In Kampala, I remember it being 3.5 hours. Then the following match didn't even have 3 hours played to completion. Some of the times that they played against each other have had a little bit of controversy for the players, for their managers, for the fans. And these are some of the controversial moments between Jerry and Ceasar because yes, controversy is part of the game. At the Queen's International Billiards Championship in Bulawayo, when Ceasar reached the final with 2 lives, Jerry with 1, the organizers hinted on Jerry having to head start Ceasar with +2 in a race to 9 as their rules of engagement in terms of, instead of Ceasar having 2 lives in the final. I remember Ceasar telling them that we are playing double elimination tournament. I will either be beaten twice or I am not ready to play. Of course, the organizers had to respect the players' opinion, and Ceasar played the final, which he won at the first time of asking, winning his first international competition that came with 3,000 US dollars. Another matter of controversy, maybe the players were not well explained at the Grand China Africa Super 16-man competition that was played in August last year, 2025 at Mchana Pub and Grill in Nairobi, in Kenya. A double elimination competition it was, but the players seemed not to have understood that when it reached the final, they were only to have 1 grand final. I remember Ceasar reaching the final without losing a single match, and by the way, he beat Jerry in the quarterfinals. Jerry using his second life, winning the second life quarterfinal and the second life semi-final. And the second life final, he had to face Ceasar in the grand final. Ceasar believing that he had 2 lives in the final as a matter of rules of engagement, not having realized what the regulations of the tournament had to say. Ceasar lost out in the first final, and Jerry was declared winner without Ceasar knowing that he had been defeated in the competition. Another matter of controversy between the two players when they have been taking on each other. Again at Chana Pub and Grill in Nairobi this same month. The other was 2024 in the month of December, the ATA Africa Super 16-man competition that saw Ceasar reaching the final and taking on Kelvin. I remember Jerry walking around with $3,000 US, demanding for a match with Ceasar and making it very clear to everybody. And Ceasar refused to give Jerry a game. A little bit of beef between the two that still exists up to present date. And will I say controversy without mentioning exchange of management teams when the ATA came into African pool, one of the first ever players that we signed, not one of them, the very first after Dog City was a certain Mr. Jeremiah Naido. Then about a few months later, in the year that was 2024, Jerry fell out with the ATA, then the ATA signed Ceasar. All those controversial moments between the two players, but only in sporting terms. But now, as the game is going, there is no controversy. It is the Scorpion having a relatively healthy, and I'm only saying relatively healthy, 3-frame lead against the South African Bulldozer. We will be racing to 21 for the duration that I believe shall be 3 hours, with Ceasar having to play cue ball with too much English with intent to open up the black. He came short, even shorter too. Putting cue ball, coming lucky, will have to try again playing white into black off the bottom cushion with the right spin into black, which is open now, having every chance in the frame and wins now. As fans chant his name, he's one guy that I know who never needs to walk to competitions with fans. He always finds his fans everywhere he goes. And Lagos will not be exception for today. He will want to put the two rings left on the table, one to the corner pockets at the bottom left, another to the corner pocket top left, and then black to the side pocket at the top, as he will be expecting to record what will be a fourth. He rightly so leaves a cut between white and red, such that if he posts red with a bit of right spin, cue ball bounces off the cushion and moves rightwards, and the rest is a formality. As he will be sinking in black for the first time in a row. It is Ceasar Chandika 4 and Jeremiah Naido 0. I will speak things I don't know. Son, spin. Son, slow. Son is low. I will be speaking to a special person. Come to the commentary with my brother. Just introduce your name and your position. I don't want to say it by myself. My name is Engineer Proteus, chairman of Port Harcourt Senior Players. All the way from Port Harcourt. All the way from Port Harcourt. Taking flights across the nation simply to come and be a part of this action. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a game we love so much. We enjoy the game. So we can do anything what good players play. Now, how do you fall in love with pool? How do you know these players and how is pool organized in Port Harcourt?
All right, in Port Harcourt, we uh, good. We have good snooker players in Port Harcourt. Pool players. We organize tournaments yearly.
Yeah.
Every year we get champions. Call them Port Harcourt number one. We also get female champions. We have middleweights and all that. So it's a yearly thing for us. In Port Harcourt, we play a lot of games. We are very, very organized. An organized association that loves this game. That wants to see how we can take this game to greater heights.
Now, how do you think this tour, I'm calling it a tour, when some of the best players in Africa are in Nigeria, taking on some of Nigeria's best players and other players from West Africa, from Ghana, from Burkina Faso. What do you think this tour will be impacting Nigerian pool in general as a leader?
Yes, I think it's a good you know fit for the community, for the pool community. We have been It's a good fit for the pool community. I think we have been able to get people to a lot of persons to enjoy this game. So I give all kudos to Big Kells for bringing this game to Nigeria. Having people like Caesar Chandiga come down here, having players like Jerry himself has been an amazing player. I always watch him play and I enjoy his game. Having players like Jinte and some guys from Burkina Faso,
Right.
Nigerians here,
Mm.
man, I will say it's a good fit, and I I just wish the Nigerian government can look into this game.
The federal
The
government.
federal
itself.
government itself can look into this game and see that a lot of persons love this game so much.
Now, this is what I request of you. What I've seen with Nigerian pool is, with all due respect, Nigeria is a very big country in every aspect of the way. In all sports, Nigeria is one of the most talented countries on the entire African continent in most of the sports. But what I've seen in pool is that there are no good pool tables. Now, it's not easy to develop a sport when you don't have facilities. And pool, the facilities are not all that much. When you have a good pool table, it can room up so many players. Now, these two are an example of what a top class pool table is. Let's work together. We'll get these tables in Port Harcourt, and a tournament like this one will inspire so many young boys to start training. And give it 2, 3, 4 years, you will not believe your eyes when you see so many talents coming up. Because when you have 200 million people, surely talents are there hiding. They are just waiting to be unhidden. Not so, Chairman.
Yes, Peter, you're very correct. We in Port Harcourt, the kind of table we play with there is a 8 feet by 4 feet
Yeah.
table, the American standard
So
table,
big. So
big balls, big
okay, it's a good,
buckets.
but it's for a different sport. You don't
Yeah.
play black on that table.
No. We don't play the PBA rules there.
Mm.
What we play is international 8 ball rules. The
Okay.
one you do, the ball in hand rule.
But then that's not supposed to be played on that table as well.
Yes, we have 9 feet tables, we have 8 feet tables, and we play this American rules, international 8 ball. But like you said, it's a good thing that we start importing 7 feet tables.
Yeah.
In Lagos, I think that's their niche. They have this understanding of the small ball tables. So I'm also in talks with Big Kells so that we can get a few of these tables. The 8 by 4 feet table that we use in Port Harcourt, it all started once, and then everybody started getting it, and it's very expensive. A table that we get for over 5 million naira.
Yeah.
So it's expensive, and then it started once, and then it started spreading. People started, buying those tables. But now, if we start with this 7 feet table, just like the international ball, before our players were used to these two shots rules, in-house
Yeah.
rules. But now, everywhere, go to the nooks and crannies of River State, you see lounges and clubs and snooker bars, playing the international 8 ball rules. So once we start, using these tables, we find out that the way it will spread, the way it will spread across, you know, clubs, lounges, and pool, houses, it's going to come like a wildfire. So I think it's a gradual thing, and I am
It will,
looking
it,
to
it
it.
will surely pay off. Of course, it will not come easy. It will take a lot of expense. If you can, as an association in Port Harcourt, you can even take it on as a business. You can invest in importing of these tables and then you supply them to other people. Of course, that one comes at a profit. At the end of the day, it's worth it. It can become a business. It can also become a way of development of the game because you really need these facilities. For me, I grew up following Nigerian sport.
Yeah,
Now, for me, it doesn't. It beats my understanding that
yes,
you don't see any of the best players in Africa coming from Nigeria. And yet, in every other aspect of sport and drama and entertainment, music, everything, it's Nigeria dominating. I believe even in pool one day it's possible, chairman.
yes. It's just like those days. Football started quite a long time ago, and then in 1992, the English Premier League came and took over, and you see how they've grown.
Yeah,
This is how pool, I believe, would grow in Nigeria. We we are just these little things we are doing, like this tournament organized by Big Girls. These are the snippets. These are the differential parts that will form up an integral whole. To see that this game is being pushed, so that parastatals, companies, IOCs, they will be interested, and then all we need in this game is sponsorship.
yeah,
Like these games that we're enjoying now, Big Girls, single-handedly, took it upon himself to invite players and then, do all the.
let me tell you one thing.
Okay,
To fly one pool table, because it had to be a flight
yes,
from,
cargo, yes,
yeah,
from South Africa,
it costs $2,000, just one.
yeah,
That is just transportation. So the investment is real, but at the end of the day, after 5, 6, 10 years, it will all be worth it, Chairman. I want to thank you for the time you've given me for this one. Maybe before the end of the game, we'll be back to the commentary booth,
all right,
and we'll be doing our thing.
all right, thank
And
you.
thank you for accepting to have a picture with me.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. I told you when I come to Lagos, I'm
Yeah,
gonna snap with you.
yeah,
I'm gonna snap with Caesar.
yeah.
I'm gonna snap with Jerry Ganda, and I did that. I told you this morning that I'll be here, and I came.
Your passion is for World Cup. Thank you for chairman.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That is the chairman of the Port Harcourt Pool Association. Remember, this huge country is a truly federal country with every state having its own government and doing its own work. Back to the game that sees the Ugandan start off the march brighter. It will be a little bit worrying for Jerry because yesterday Caesar showed a little glimpse of what his beast mode can do. Most especially after the bad results that he got against the fellow Ugandan player Ian Kasbe exactly 2 days ago today, and then having the Malawian player Gente pay for the sins that were inflicted upon by Ian, and Caesar starting off in beast mode and having Jerry play under pressure. Can't even play his best game. Sometimes when you see your opponent is playing so well, it does affect you mentally. You find yourself missing balls you otherwise weren't supposed to miss. 5-1 racing to 21 in no time limit, live from the gymnasium of the Institute of Sports in Lagos State in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. With Caesar having a cut on the red into the side pocket at the top, thereby creating some relatively good space between the reds. It's just one yellow that is right in front of one or two reds and near the center pocket at the top. The rest of the reds you can say will be pretty portable. It is Caesar Chandiga 6, dear viewers, and Jeremiah Naide 1. After 7 frames played, we shall be having our first 2 minutes time out of the match, as requested by Jerry. When he does return, the match shall return and commentary shall return with the resumption of the match. Once again, dear viewers, it is Jeremiah Naide of South Africa 1 and Caesar Chandiga of Uganda 6. Once again, dear viewers, everything is okay. Just that we are having timeout as requested by Jerry, who should be returning in less than 1 minute. Otherwise, 6 frames to 1. Caesar leading racing to 21 for $5,000. And we're back to our main business of the day, dear viewers. The business that has either Jerry or Caesar having to win always 5,000 US dollars tonight. The business that has Caesar starting faster out of the blocks, winning 6 quick frames out of the first 7 in the same match. That Jerry still needs to win 20 before Caesar can win 13 or else succumb to defeat. Of course, it is very early days this, and remember, on the money match front, Jerry has the momentum on his side. And while he is down now by 5 frames, some of the matches in which Jerry has been winning over Caesar, he has that good history of making comebacks in Kampala. The first time that the two faced off, Caesar led by 20 frames to Jerry's 17, and then Jerry won the last 4 to claim the victory. In Nairobi, just about 3 months ago, Caesar led by 20 frames to 18. Jerry won the last 3 with just a single visit of the table, and then won the match. In Durban, the city where Jerry is born, when they played off in a race to 21. At one time, Jerry needed to win 6 frames in a row when Caesar led by about 15 frames to 10 or something before Jerry taking the lead. A match that went into a decider that was won by Jerry. And of the two players, you will fancy that it could be Caesar who will not want this match to get to a decider. Because yes, Jerry has won about 3 deciders in 3 money matches against the same player. You also get a feeling that Jerry is the player that Caesar will want to take most serious of them all when he does play money matches. In the trilogy of the 3 players, as many fans will like to describe them as the very best on the entire African continent, these 2 plus a certain Mr. Aiden Joseph, who is missing in action, by the way, for reasons I don't want to bring into the stream, with Jerry having monopoly over Caesar in money matches, with Aiden having monopoly over Jerry in money matches, but with Caesar having monopoly over Aiden in the money matches. It is a trilogy which looks like the 3 players just keep exchanging money between themselves, but nobody really is more dominant in the entire trilogy. Like I said, Jerry beating Caesar most of the time, Caesar beating Aiden most of the time, and yet Aiden beats Jerry most of the time, but that one excludes this year. And for the matches that Jerry has been beating Caesar, they exclude the start of this match, which does have Caesar have 2 reads remaining, wanting to put 1, drawing the cue ball backwards in leftwards motion, has got to be careful and wary of the position of the black. I'm having the assumption that he will want to put the last red on the table, the one close to the black, into that corner pocket at the bottom left. But so straight it is as he plays, he needs right English on the cue ball and it drawn in backwards motion. Because of that level of difficulty, Caesar misses the shot. He will be a little lucky though that white is not favorable enough for Jerry to make a clearance with ease. What Jerry needs is pot a ball. He puts a ball and plays white off the cushion a little into Caesar's red. He will want to play a shot so similar. Play the red that is top leftwards of the 2, then bounce the cue ball off the left cushion and then move it behind the last yellow on the table. He goes for the corresponding pocket and still is off target on a day that Jerry starts as though playing so much of form. But Caesar's work is cut out. He has sight of one of the reds, portable with ease, manipulating cue ball for another. It will not come that easy. He may need the cue ball at the extreme left end of the table, maybe off the cushion, and another cushion, and another cushion. Perfect cueing from Caesar Chandiga. Having now to put the red into the side pocket top with top spin cue ball, maybe falling red all the way, which he does, but plays cue ball with different skill. And for the black, to the same center pocket he has put the previous red, going for 7. And ladies and gentlemen, the scorpion stings. Chandiga Caesar 7 and Jeremiah Naido 1. Please keep me company. Do not sleep off. I understand it's in the players' respective countries. It's 11:30 p.m. in Durban, where Jerry is born. It's coming to midnight in Moya, where Caesar is born. Have your coffee, chew your popcorn. Ensure that we watch this one up to completion. It's one of those matches that you don't really want so much to watch not live, because there is no replacements to the thrill that comes with the live match between 2 players that are big rivals with each other. and two players that have very rival sets of fans. As Jerry tries to utilize a dry break by Ceasar, with him having the work of putting 5 reds. He's not playing anywhere close to his best, and Ceasar knows an opportunity it is for Ceasar to keep winning and extending his lead. And the number of frames Ceasar has been winning in a row. This I have to tell you, Jerry is as well more than capable of winning them. And this match is still done, not yet done, sorry, only in its infancy. Jerry is one guy that doesn't fear taking risks. Even when the match looks this tight for him, he goes for a shot that's tough. For instance, imagine had the cue ball been played into one of Ceasar's reds, it will be a little complicated for Jerry, but now he's still okay, only relatively so. Putting yellow, bouncing white off the job, moving it leftwards. We want to draw white into the red of Ceasar, or else play white into the cushion. He did both exactly as he needed not to. Played white both into yellow and into cushion and into Ceasar's red. Having now red touching white, Jerry will want to put yellow to the corner pocket at the top right. How good? Very good. This clearance will be a polite reminder to Ceasar that while Jerry is down, the bulldozer is not yet out. He rumbles for the first time in a long while in the match, and some of the fans, the Nigerian fans who have been watching him online for a time so long, are appreciating what they are seeing on the bulldozer as he rumbles for frame 2 out of the first 9. And as a matter of scoreline, it is Jeremiah 9-2 and Chandigarh Ceasar 7. I'm just shouting out to some of you watching on the stream. YouTubers Humbulani Lipazi, thank you very much. Sandra Tima, Abdallah Mzamil, Jose, and X Roger. You say if Ceasar learns how to break, nobody will ever dare to play him. Who tells he doesn't know how to break? He knows it. Breaking is a skill which also comes with too much luck. Pascal Pressure, thank you for watching, and Dennis Twine as well on the YouTube stream. Robert Tumsime says Ceasar today's sharp like a razor blade. Looks like the YouTube audience is largely a Scorpion audience. Shall be taking off some minutes to see what is happening from the Facebook stream, just to see if there's some bit of balance at play of all the more than 3,000 people who are watching this action live combined on Facebook and YouTube. Jimmy James supporting Jerry and Mrs. Mbele. You said even if you can check their head-to-head, Jerry's ahead. Yes, Jerry's ahead in many matches. And Marshall Dennis, thank you for watching. And Nkateko Sodi, for the first time you are seeing Jerry ball break. Tapiwa and Anela Machaya, thank you for watching. As well as Alex Mbingana. You say that you are coming there only for tutorials on how to break and score. Colm Oscar, you're watching live from the United Arab Emirates, and Wesley Chupido, thank you for watching from the break and finish live Facebook stream. I'll also be taking off a few seconds to say hi to you who are watching from the Q Pixels Photography Facebook and YouTube stream, including some of, but not limited to, people who are always watching, like Talwaka Marvelous. You are in Zambia supporting Ceasar, and Malise Salimane. Is this the Salimane whom I know? Okay, supporting the Scorpion as well. Tobela Gabelana. Thanks for watching as the bulldozer rumbles yet again and wins 2 frames in quick succession without dropping a single shot. Apples red and green respectively. Now that is more of it from the bulldozer. It is Jeremiah Naidu Guys, I am sorry. My camera position is a little bit blocked because of how full the venue is. Jerry actually potted black and white, and the frame is won by Caesar. 10 frames played, Jerry 2 and Caesar 8. As Caesar breaks, but the break is dry. A very hungry Jerry, who is starting to get his pattern a little bit okay. Even luck is starting to evade him when the play is starting to come up together. Because yes, at least we have seen him win. We've seen him pot about 16 balls in a row without dropping a single shot, and yet after the 16th, which was a black in a second frame, he should have been winning in a row. He gotten to play white off one of Caesar's yellows and then lost the frame. The chance is back for Jerry to come within yet another frame of Caesar as the two take each other on in yet another country. They faced off in Kampala in Uganda. They faced off in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. They faced off in Nairobi in Kenya. They faced off in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. They faced off in Durban in South Africa. They faced off in Johannesburg in South Africa. Now they face off in Lagos in Nigeria. They've as well faced off in Lusaka in Zambia, as well as Dar es Salaam in Tanzania for a second time. Now Jerry will be going for yet another. He will want to put red to the corner pocket top left, and then another red to the corner pocket bottom left. He may as well go for the side pocket at the bottom, which makes manipulation of white for black a little tricky because he's leaving a relative sharp cut between white and red. For the fact that he's Africa's potting machine, potting will not be a problem as he goes for seemingly the corner pocket. White may have to be drawn a little close to the black. He misses the pot. A very risky miss. That is now likely to miss him the frame in all its entirety. That one is a simple shot. That becomes a little summary of what the performance of the Bulldozer has been in the match so far. Giving chance away for a very lethal guy to play when I never ever saw that coming 1 or 2 minutes ago. This one will be making Caesar even more confident, playing not just for the money, but also for the name. The player that arguably, and I'm only saying arguably, has the best pattern of play on the entire African continent and taking on the best potting machine on the African continent, facing off in a city far away from the homes of either players. With 10 frames played, with Caesar leading by 8 frames to 2, now the chance comes even bigger to win a ninth. Too confident, too classy, too lethal, too punishing, too unforgiving. Even when the lead is so big, he's simply playing to grow the lead even bigger. He will be potting black to the side pocket top to record a ninth. And once again, the Scorpion stings. Chandiga Caesar 9 and Jeremiah Naido 2. And Adile Walaza thinks at this rate, Jerry may not reach 13. You're not fair, my guy. He will. Kevin Lee Dixon says it's not his day. And Thiane, thank you for watching. Seemingly supporting Jerry on the Q Pixels photography Facebook stream. Prince Defas, thank you for watching. And Apti Troy also supporting Jerry on Q Pixels. Zico Otkele, thank you for watching. And Darlington Dube. You say Caesar is not good in breaking. He's good. Gawi. Homeboy, I'm joking. And Manizat says Jerry is playing when he should be playing and he has no reason to play that ball with power. And I believe that you meant the penultimate ball he missed before gifting out the frame. And Jerry breaks frame number 12. And just like Caesar did in the previous, the Bulldozer breaks dry. Here we go again with the Ugandan Scorpion yet with another chance. This time round, the chance is a bit thin, but for the course of the tour, we've seen him clear off frames even more critical than this. He's an example of a player that seems to grow as events grow, who also seems to get better as the opponents get bitter. Having started off his money match tour with defeat against Uganda's Ian Kazibwe in the worst performance I have ever seen from this guy in the money match, and with due respect to the 21 frames to 10 defeat he had against Jerry in Durban in South Africa, coming to 19 months ago on the day Jerry was unplayable. In a match that he won 15 frames by apples green and red, you just get to think that the opponent wouldn't have done much more. But against Ian, Ceasar was simply not good enough. But against Gente, it was beast mode. Against Jerry, it is just continuation of the match that he played with Gente. One of those times when Ceasar is unplayable. One of those times when he plays and makes you look simply unlucky to have him as an opponent on the day. One of those times when the scoreline is so predictable, when the match is so predictable, when he plays with zero, with a heart that is simply looking for victory, but most importantly, money. As he plays cue ball around two cushions, having sight of both yellows, having to make choice which of the two to play first. In fact, in terms of position of white, the yellow close to the bottom of the screen is not seen in full. He will go for a pot. He will draw the cue ball close to the last yellow. He must have to be on target. On target he is, with red stopping the movement of white. The remaining yellow can go into the side pocket bottom, maybe play white off the right cushion, moves it back leftwards, and the rest is once again a formality. The round of applause from the Nigerians is in order. Another frame goes the way of the Scorpion as he starts to see some light at the end of the tunnel in a match that has lasted so far less than 1 hour. But the Scorpion is already in double figures in terms of scores. Jeremiah Naido 2 and Chandiga Ceasar 10, race to 21 for $5,000. Thank you for watching. Brian Limo, watching from Kipixel's Photography YouTube. Artist Mishengu, welcome to the stream. Shwalab, seemingly supporting Jerry, as well as Timothy Ngulube. That one must be watching from Zambia, saying that Jerry will not survive the day. I want to think that the Zambian fraternity will largely be supporting Mlamo Ceasar. Guys from Lusaka, your brother-in-law is having a field day against the Bulldozer for the course of the match today. And I don't remember anybody coming from down this big to succeed against Caesar. If Jerry wins this match, he will really have done something special. Of course, Caesar has surrendered a few leads. He once led by 4 frames against Aiden when they faced off for the first time in Kampala, with Caesar leading by 20 frames to 16, yet Aiden won by 21 frames to 20. And then Jerry won the last 4 against Caesar himself again in Kampala the following year. But a lead over 8 frames against the Scorpion for any player has never ever been insurmounted. He will be putting the last yellow into the corner pocket at the top left, drawing cue ball just into the cushion a little in the best ever position, perfecting yet another pattern as he rolls the black, as he increases the lead, as he stings yet again. It is now 11 frames for Caesar and 2 for Jerry. It's starting to look like an embarrassment, a humiliation, a drubbing, a frustration for Jerry. The scoreline is starting to be a little too big. Once again, Chandiga, Caesar 11 and Jeremiah Naido 2. And yet to make matters even worse, Jerry fouls on the break. One of those times when you ask yourself, what can I do more? And yet, as Caesar jumps out of his seat to go to the table and play, he's wearing the face of someone who has not yet won a single frame. He just wants to beat this guy. He wants to lower the performance head-to-head statistics between the two. And both of these players, by the way, are sure that they are more than capable of beating each other. They feel it, they normally say it. And you're listening to someone who is a friend of both. But every time they face off against each other, it is only easier said than done. And they've hunted each other all the way to the other's respective countries. Jerry, having played Caesar twice, played against Caesar twice in Kampala. In the other, it was 2024, 23, sorry. Then he returned to the country in 2025. Sorry, they played off against each other in 2023. Then Jerry returned in 2024, but at the time, it was a little too impossible for the two players to play against each other. Then they were under the same management. But after the fallout between Jerry and ATA, then he started hunting Caesar again. And the hunting has never ever stopped. And I'm starting to suspect that should Caesar win this match, it's starting to look like a rematch could happen. Even if it may mean extension of the travel ticket, the return of either of the two, most especially Jerry. He doesn't like it when he loses. Once it happens, he wants another chance to redeem himself. And given how Caesar is performing, at least for now, I want to believe that there is no reason as to why he will be turning down the request to rematch. Now, how good will this shot be? Yellow into the center pocket, white again closer to black, with Jerry being punished only for not putting on the brake, instead having the cue ball jump off the table, with Caesar taking the easy pickings of the resultant frame and extending his lead. He's starting to enjoy himself as the Nigerian fans who are in their few hundreds at the venue are starting to be wowed and amused and annihilated at a Scorpion whom they have always watched on the live streams, and yet now they see him doing Scorpion things right in front of their eyes against one of the very best of them players on the African continent who is being treated to a humiliation in front of hundreds at the venue and thousands online. Jeremiah Naido 2 and Chandigarh Caesar 12. Race to 21. Now the program, please listen to me. Nigeria 1, Bamidele Shehu versus Caesar Chandigarh tomorrow at around the same time. I have to tell you, I feel like when that match is lined up to start, maybe I confiscate the balls and run out of Nigeria. Just to save a brother. And hopefully Jerry will save his face for this one. Will he? Won't he? Does he have sight of the yellow? Maybe he does. Can it go in? Yes, it can. Can the black do? Yes, it can as well. The fans just want to see good action. They want to push him. They want him to keep winning and winning and winning. They don't want to see a one-sided match. And he's a guy, by the way, they have always confessed to love. Everybody that I've been interviewing here in this city has confessed loving to watch Jerry play, including the chairman of the Port Harcourt Pool Association, who said he flew from Port Harcourt to Lagos today to have a picture with Jerry, and he's happy and smiling from where I'm watching him, seeing more of what he wants to see when his idol is on table. Jerry 3 and Caesar 12. And the break by Jerry in frame number 16 is dry. He throws his hands around the place as though not sure what is hitting him. And Jerry, by the way, does have those real bad days in money matches. Sometimes when it really goes berserk. What I'm seeing him perform is pretty much synonymous to what Caesar and Jerry played off in 2023 in Kampala when the two rematched against each other. That match that ended 25 frames to 10 in favor of Caesar. The other match in which Caesar has humiliated Jerry, maybe you can talk of the final of the Billiards Cafe Classic, one of 4 international competitions that Caesar won last year in Lusaka, in Zambia. Scoreline was a bit big, and the margin of defeat for Jerry was a little too big. With Jerry having a relatively good, and I'm only saying good, relative performance against Ugandan players. He's toured Kampala, that's a lot of bravery. Has defeated some of Uganda's national team players right in Kampala. Simon Nwola, Jerry won by 16 frames to 10. Joseph Kasozi against Jerry in Kampala, Jerry won by 16 frames to 12. Banika Mansour racing to 16, Jerry won by 16 frames to 11. Dog City in Kampala, Jerry won by 16 frames to 12. Ibrahim Sejemba, Jerry played 3 matches, losing 2, winning 1. winning by 21 frames to 20, then losing 2 by 21 frames to 20, and another by 21 frames to 17. And then he has won once and lost once against Ceasar in Kampala. As for Ceasar, besides Jerry, he has got a very good record against South African players. Thami Jabavu defeated by Ceasar in South Africa. Aiden Joseph twice defeated by Ceasar in South Africa, but also Ceasar won once against him in South Africa. Pila Mazambani, but against Jerry, the guy that has tormented Ceasar more times than anybody. Ceasar is instilling beast mode against one of the biggest of his rivals, humiliating him so far in front of the Lagos audience. Another frame won by the Scorpion. The lead grows even bigger, and the pain in Durban grows the more as Ceasar extends his lead after 16 frames played. It is now 13 for Ceasar and 3 for Jerry, with Jerry having to start to win, or else this one could go down as a historical night of humiliation. And humiliations are not a strange thing to Ceasar. He's once beaten Simon Nobola by 21 frames to 2 in Kampala, and not so long ago, he humiliated Kelvin Fikoti, another of Africa's best players, by 21 frames to 4 in Nairobi. Jerry has to be very wary that when this guy means to be lethal, he can mean to be very, very lethal. And finally, we now discover that Ceasar is human as well, as he gets to miss a ball. Now here comes Jerry. And that is having a relatively good support base right in Lagos. Here, by the way, he's very well supported. His opponent is as well. They are pushing him on. They are calling him by name and by nickname, asking him to fight and fight and fight on. Fight for them, fight for himself, fight for big kills, fight for South Africa, fight for Durban. Seemingly he will, as he now does have 2 reds on the table, and then a black that seems to be entangled so close to one of Ceasar's yellows. The cue ball Jerry will be playing will be very significant here. And I'm only saying that with the assumption he will be putting the red. Having cue ball bounce off the top cushion. How close to the black? Close enough. That's more like it. More like the player who has been shooting pool at a higher level than any other African player for the course of this year so far. Jerry wins a frame and wins it that like the Jerry we all know. It is 4 for the Bulldozer and 13 for the Scorpion. It is a race to 21. Now what is happening is Jerry is changing his breaking cue as advised by his boss. Of the two players, he's the home guy. Make no doubt about that. Maybe it's the reason why the Nigerian fans are chanting him on. They know that he's Nigerian managed. One of those players that have so many countries represented. When he touches a cue stick, he's once been managed in Tanzania. He's once been managed in Uganda. He's once been managed in his home in South Africa. He's born in India. He's born in South Africa but has Indian blood in him. I'm sorry. And now he's managed in Nigeria. When he's playing, all those countries seem to want to have a piece of him. This is the chance after him breaking and making a ball. A red ball it was, and yet now clearly he will have to go for the yellows. Typical Jerry will go for this frame. But today's Jerry has not been consistent enough. He's having white so close to black and one of Ceasar's reds. And yet what he needs is to go for the frame. He knows if he doesn't, his opponent probably will. Most especially an opponent who is playing his A game. And guys, the tournament shall resume tomorrow at 5 p.m. West African time with the round of last 16 matches. If I'm not mistaken, it's just one player from Burkina Faso involved. Then 2 Ugandans, Ceasar and Ian, 1 South Africa, Jerry, 1 Malawian, Ginte, and then a host of players from Nigeria and Ghana. A tournament that is so far delivering, showing us talents that have not been known before. Otherwise, for myself, the player that has really caught my eye of them that have not been exposed to the African fraternity prior is Ghana's Frank Sullivan. Yes, he doesn't have the exposure as yet that these guys do have, but he has a very nice set of skills that could take him far in the sport. Now, Jerry wants to go find this frame. How far? His intention was perhaps to have the keyboard be played into Ceasar's yellow and then put a red, his own yellow to put the red. That didn't happen that much. The little advantage is that he is still in play, but he'll be trying to go for a very difficult looking frame. And here he does come. He has to play one more big shot. I'm liking this fighting spirit, most especially when momentum is quite down for the Bulldozer. Good one from him. He's reminding us of what he can do exactly. Even when he's down, He still has the entertainment quality that has fans now standing on top of their feet, having to put yellow and black, I believe, to the corresponding center pockets, left and right. And the yellow is in. The black will go in as well. The bulldozer is fighting as he rumbles into a fifth frame out of the first 18. Remember, the lead of the Scorpion is 8. A big lead it is. But you can never say never. Not when your opponent is Jerry. Of course, Caesar is still much favorite. But now it's more like it from Jerry. As a matter of scoring, Jeremiah Naido 5 and Chandiga Caesar 13. All right, guys, that will be our second time out of the match, with Caesar enjoying a 14 frames to 5 scoreline, needing to win 9, while his opponent will need to win what, 16, and that one will be such a hard nut to crack. And thank you for watching Benjamin Tango Music. That one must be someone in somewhere in Nebi, I do believe. Pascal, welcome to the stream. And Pool Diehard, you stop disturbing my Jerry. Saboyongo 19, you want Caesar to take you to bed and hair pitch. You say you are watching from Antarctica. I don't believe, but it's okay. John Stalimwa wants Caesar to win 10 in a row again. But thank you for watching, my guy. And some of you that are watching from the Facebook stream, including the likes of Boss Hamid and Godi Kumalo. Guys, it's race to 21. Yes, race to 21, not 25. And whoever was saying that I indicated 25 in the subtitle, please check again. Just Hauteng. You're Hauteng and you're watching from a different place, but it's okay. Mali Matebele. Yes, Caesar needs 7 frames, not 9. Yeah, Tanaka Vangai, thank you for watching. And you say that someone said needs 7, take 5,000, while someone needs 16. It's not fair. Yes, it's true. Caesar needs 7 and Jerry needs, it's true, 16. And Anthony Agesa says I'm an enemy to mathematics. I do love my mathematics, like adding and subtracting, but no, not other difficult things. Prince Colin asking if Jerry can come here. If you can't run, stop disturbing Jerry, you people. Tafazo Moses and Richard Tumwine and Joseph Sango and all of you, thank you for watching. I don't know what Marisa is going through. It's just party. Once again, 14 frames to 5, and commentary will be resuming with resumption of play. As we get done with our second time of the match, I'll be reminding you that tomorrow, after the comp, Shew versus Caesar. As I will just be coming to the table early and then confiscate the balls and run out of Nigeria. Now this one is right after timing. Caesar has a cut, a very necessary cut between white and the red he's playing. He really want to play the cue ball into the pile up of yellows and black. At some point, maybe now, put the red that is closer to yellow, and then draw white with the big power into the yellow and the black. He didn't use power, he used precision. He didn't create enough space between black and yellow and red. That's a situation that will probably be disturbing his pattern. Unless the red that is close to the yellows is portable anyway, something that even from Jerry's sitting position seems to get him worried. And he's worried rightly so, with Caesar having to put the red which is leftwards of the two, I think in between yellow and off cushion. White in between yellow, off cushion, white bouncing off the cushion as he comes closer to doing exactly what Jerry did not want when you are leading, when you're trading bigly, when your opponent has a 9-frame lead, when you get time out and then you get time in, and then he comes onto the table and wins the very next frame. That's exactly what could be happening now, with Caesar having the black to himself, having to put it to the corner pocket at the top left of the screen for him to record a 15th, but most importantly, the first frame after timeout, as he aims and shoots and stings. It is Caesar 15 and Jerry 5. 21 frames to go, with Jerry needing to win 16, with Caesar needing to win 6 for $5,000. Someone is saying in the comment section that since Lagos is close to the Atlantic Ocean, after the comp tomorrow, someone has to come to all the tables, remove all the balls, and throw them in the ocean, such that the last match doesn't happen. Guys, professionalism dictates that when a match is advertised and announced, unless there is an emergency, it will happen. But what is happening now is he's attempting to win a second right after time in a match that sees him attempting to do exactly what he did to Jerry, win against him by a very big scoreline when they faced off in Kampala for the second time after Jerry having defeated Caesar when they faced off for the first time. That was 3 days prior. With the yellow that is spotted with the cue ball being drawn backwards, the Scorpion will now be having 4 yellows on table and all of them in space, attempting to play the black in space as well, and yet he does exactly that. Playing like he's hungry, playing like he's trading, playing like he's the one needing to win more frames, and yet in actual sense he's getting closer and closer and closer to the victory. Starting to look like what Jerry will be having in his mind is how to narrow the lead, how to stop Caesar from humiliating him, how to ensure that Caesar's lead, or will I call it a winning lead, is not that big. I just think it's starting to look like stopping Caesar from winning this match may be close to impossible. Whatever he's doing is turning into gold, at least for now. He gets himself snookered with intent. His idea is to carve the cue ball with master shot around red to find yellow. This is the shot as he has a very high bridge. Finds yellow and puts in what is the best shot of the match so far. In what is the performance of the Ugandan bulldozing the bulldozer in a country far away from home, aiming for the black in the most lethal way. The Scorpion stings yet again, winning yet another frame. The second after timeout with the best piece of magic and entertainment that you will want, especially when facing off against one of your bitterest international rivals. Another frame won. It is Chandigarh Caesar and Uganda 16, Jeremiah Naido and South Africa 5 race to 21. This is exactly the worst time you want to become an opponent of Caesar. When he's playing that good, when he feels that someone is really nagging him, when he has a negative record against Jerry, following him like an unwanted shadow, when he gets him this time round at a neutral venue, most of the time when these two have been facing off in many matches, there has not been neutrality in terms of venues. Twice they faced off in Uganda with Caesar having home advantage, and twice in South Africa with Jerry having definite home advantage. A few times in at neutral venues, but this one will be the most neutral of them all. In the battle of the management teams, that is ATA and Big Chaos, the battle of the countries, that is Uganda and South Africa, the battle of players, that is Jerry and Caesar, the battle of fans, Team the Scorpion and Team Ganda Ganda. It is still the Team the Scorpion fans who may take the smile after frame number 22. All he needs is to play red by red drive, then have sight of the last red, maybe draw white backwards. He misses. And Jerry survives. And once again, guys, tomorrow it will be the main comp that will be starting at about anywhere between 4 to 5 p.m. Please accept our apologies for not starting at the time that you want. Many of you, especially those that are watching online, have been passing to us complaints about the starting time of the match and the time of this match itself. It's not anything to do with it ain't anything to do with the organizers, and I'm speaking about as part of the organizers myself. The venue that we are is a property of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that is open for business only at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. In the morning and afternoon hours, it's meant for other stuff. So that one will be understandable. The other thing is the difference in time zones. Those that are watching from South Africa, you know that where you are in comparison to West African Standard Time, you are 2 hours ahead. Those that are watching from East Africa, which is Caesar's country, you know that you are 2 hours ahead. I want to beg your pardon. In Durban, it is 1 hour ahead. Therefore, everything that you have watching your way comes sometime late. And there goes the foul, with Jerry seeming like he's having his poorest match against his bitterest rival out of South Africa, with Ceasar playing black for a free shot, moving quite close to the red. Close or not will do. He will be having a relative cut between white and red, but relative won't matter, as frame number 22 will go down the same way as 16 of the first 21, the way of the Scorpion. 17 frames to 5. Ceasar leads, racing to 21 with 5,000 US dollars at stake. Marais, I'm going to block you. Stop being a traitor. How do you support a foreigner? Marais is South African and is supporting Ceasar. Marais is a shame. Meanwhile, streaming to both Facebook and YouTube, we are now way over 4,000 watching this action live from Q-Pixels Photography, as well as Break and Finish and Peter Chove Live Facebook and YouTube. And in the near future, I will be giving you these games as well, not just on Facebook and YouTube, but also having a TikTok stream, such that the TikTok audience can also enjoy at the platform that they love the most. Ceasar is playing the way that he loves the most, potting yellow, white off 3 cushions, having full sight of the black, which is frozen against the cushion. He'll be having 2 choices of shots, that is by bank, the black either into the corner pocket at the bottom right or center pocket at the bottom. He seems to want to go to the French upcut. Oh my word. That is what beast mode actually refers to. Whether by bank, whether by cut, whether by offense, there is always one way. When Ceasar means to beat, he can mean to be a very lethal beater. The lead grows and grows bigger. As it turns out to be, in my opinion, I think the biggest humiliation that Jerry is ever having in his entire career, unless he can pull off something special. Otherwise, Ceasar is just 3 frames away from what looks to be an unstoppable victory, as Jerry breaks and puts the cue ball in a scratch that is likely to see Ceasar winning yet another. Jerry, even by facial expression and movement around the table and whatever he's doing, he knows that it is just not his day. Not the breaks, not the clearances, but most importantly, the playing pattern of Ceasar, in which he is simply unstoppable. as he goes yet for another. As he closes the table playing the yellows. The frame is looking tricky. It's just that the guy that is trying to finish it is even more tricky, at least for the course of this match. Now here comes the Scorpion, and he misses as he plays Jerry's red in front of one of his yellows. As it is a frame that is looking tricky, but for both players, by the way. With Jerry speaking to himself, even timeout couldn't work. Even when he spoke to his boss, it didn't help. Sometimes that's what happens when you have timeout. Just speak to someone whom you believe in, who can give you those words of encouragement. It can be the manager or sponsor, it can be fellow player, teammate. Sometimes it can be family member, it can be the wife, it can be the boss, it can be anybody. For Jerry, it just has not worked. With Ceasar seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to give you a reminder that tomorrow at around the same time, a certain Mr. Shehu Bamidele will be taking on Ceasar Chandiga, racing to 15 for $1,500 US. A move that could see some people confiscate the balls to throw them into the ocean, which is a little distance away from where we are, such that that match doesn't happen. I am joking, it will happen. And guys, as this beautiful match starts to near its evening, please accept me for going a little bit mute. Not that I was doing nothing. I was discussing to one of the managers as regards to the effect of what this match might come with. This I have to tell you, Jerry has played and I'm assuming he's losing this match, but the guy that we've seen today is not Jerry. That is whether or not his management will be putting him into a rematch in case he wants. Then the management is opinion that as long as Jerry is willing to rematch, he will be permitted to rematch. If he doesn't win today, that is if he doesn't win 15 frames in a row. Another set of news is that the match between Shew and Caesar is on as planned tomorrow. Forget the sarcasm I've been speaking about and the banter. Shew is a big brand, a very big brand, most especially this side of this part of the continent. Is a big brand, and many people are looking forward to that one. Therefore, tomorrow we shall have the comp round of last 16 and round of last 8 and last 4 and the final. And by the way, there is a chance that these two guys could face off. If they both win their side of the door, for instance, Caesar is at the same side of the chart with a number of players from Ghana and Nigeria, and then two other players, one from Uganda, Ian and Ginte. They have to face off against each other. Jerry is on the side of the chart with West Africans only, and with due respect to them, there's a good chance that Jerry could make the comp final. And if Caesar makes the final as well, the two could face off again tomorrow. Maybe we could have Jerry against Caesar again tomorrow. This time on for $2,500, which is the money for the victor tomorrow. And thereafter, it will be Caesar versus Shehu Bamidele, the finest player in Nigeria. And if Jerry talks to his management with the willingness to have a rematch with Caesar, then it will happen this coming Monday. The two players do have their return tickets to their respective countries on the 24th, so there is time, as much as there is time for Jerry to concede the last frame of the match. Even without Caesar touching a cue stick, he is the winner of this game. He will not go without an interview. All right. This has been one of your best ever performances. It is the second time you are humiliating Jerry in a money match. Today, it has been a bit too much. What was the inspiration? What was the fire burning in you to produce such a performance? Doing exactly what you did to Ginte, doing the same exact thing to Jerry today.
I will not say Jerry has played bad, but he has been having a lot of red breaks, and that gave me a lot of advantage to utilize the frames, which has helped me a lot. And also, yeah, the games he has been beating me recently. Back then, he has beaten me in I think like 2 or 3 races where he beat me.
In Durban, you couldn't put a ball on the break when he won 21-10.
Yeah, in Durban,
He got 15 apples then.
in Durban, I had a lot of dry breaks, which the same thing happened to him today. And the second time we played in Durban when I went for the which tournament was that? The APA tournament.
Yeah.
We played and he beat me.
Decider.
I will say I was a bit unlucky, but it's again, which is fine. And from Kenya also, I was leading him 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Then I started making dry breaks.
Then he won the last
got
3
lucky
frames.
also. He played well.
Apples. He won.
He played well, yeah. And, I will not say he played bad, but yeah.
Now, one final thing. I'm sorry, I'm taking you like off guard, but during the break, I spoke to Jerry's boss. Then he said, "My player has not played well. If he tells me that he wants a rematch, I will stake for him again. If Jerry asks you for a rematch before leaving Nigeria, will you give him a game?"
I'll play him a rematch in one condition.
Okay.
In a condition whereby I'll play only 3 players again.
The condition of the Scorpion to rematch with Jerry is that he rematches with all the 3 big Kills players again. That one goes out to you, Ginte and Ian, as well as Jerry. Thank you for watching, guys. Congratulations, Caesar. Yeah. And the game with show is on tomorrow. So, yes. Thank you for watching, guys. May the Almighty God bless you.